Good morning, students. I am Shubha Hiremat, Assistant Professor of English, Government First Grade College, Dharwad. In this session, we are going to learn about a great Indian writer and his famous short story. But before that, I would like you to watch this video carefully and identify this popular tune. Yes, students, welcome back. This is the famous tune of Malgudi Days. It is an Indian television series that started in 1986 and was filmed in both English and Hindi based on the 1943 short story collection of the same name by RK Narayan. The series was directed by Kannada actor and director Shankar Nag. Carnatic musician L. Vaidyanathan composed the score, while RK Narayan's younger brother and acclaimed cartoonist RK Lakshman was the sketch artist. The series was made by film producer T.S. Narasimhaya. In 2006, the series was revived for an additional 15 episodes, which were directed by Kavita Lankesh. This is the original short stories written by RK Narayan in the name of Malgudi Days. RK Narayan is one of the major trio in Indian English fiction. Mulkraj Anand, RK Narayan and Raja Rao together were called as major trio in the development of Indian English fiction. He won Sahitya Academy Award for the novel The Guide. He reflects ordinary life of South Indian society through the characters and the setting. It is almost impossible to find someone in India who has not heard of Malgudi or its creator RK Narayan. He is widely regarded as one of India's greatest 20th century English writers. Narayan is as relevant today as he was during the early days of Indian English literature. His stories are of compassionate humanism, humor, and energy. His works reflects an ordinary life. RK Narayan was born on 10th October 1906 in Madras. He was born in a small town of Mysore, that is Channapatnam, near Mysore in southern India, and he spent his early childhood days with his maternal grandmother Parvati in Madras. She gave him the nickname of Kunjappan. RK Narayan's father was headmaster in a school, and only few weeks he spent his childhood life with his parents and siblings. In 1934, RK Narayan married Rajam and they had an only daughter called Hema. Since Narayan's early age was spent in loneliness, he was a shy and sensitive boy. Spent his early childhood days with his maternal grandmother. Only few weeks he spent his childhood with his parents. He studied at his father's school and maintained a diligent dislike for studies. The qualifier to the graduate course in arts proved his nemesis. A short time at CRC High School and Christian College High School, he moved back in with his parents and obtained bachelor's degree from Mysore University. He resolved to write for his living and write in English. He briefly held a job as a school teacher. He started his career by writing short stories for English newspapers and magazines, reporting for different journals, freelancing here and there, and similar literary odd jobs catered more to the spirits than pockets. He kept on writing and submitting. Having spent one full year at home reading and writing, he began his literary career writing under the influence of events in his immediate surroundings. By profession, he was a teacher of English language and literature, but after working as a teacher only for a few days, he left his profession forever and dedicated himself to literary activities. RK Narayan also worked as Mysore correspondent of Justice, a newspaper, and his first novel, which was published in 1935, is Swami and Friends. It was on the recommendation of Graham Greene. Narayan's novels may be classified into 4 categories as early novels, domestic novels, novels dealing with mammon worshippers, and political novels. In all, he has written about 10 novels and about 151 short stories. In almost all his works, he is found to be a pure artist, remaining unruffled by political movements and isms. He is a staunch believer in domestic harmony and peaceful human relationships. Swami and Friends chronicles an extroverted schoolboy's rebellion against his missionary upbringing. It is a character novel dealing with the life of Swaminathan at school. It is in fact a novelette and makes an enjoyable reading. His next novel, which was going to publish, was Bachelor of Arts. Swami and Friends, that novel is about the childhood life of Swaminathan, whereas Bachelor of Arts is to capture the feelings of Chandran, a young man of 21. He is a college student and there is a love story of Chandran which was against his parents, and somehow he got married and settled. The third novel is more or less domestic novel, The Dark Room, which was inspired by the Norwegian novel, that is Doll's House by Henrik Ibsen. The story is more or less Indianized version of Doll's House. The English Teacher, after a long gap, was published in 1945 and it is autobiographical novel of RK Narayan. It similarly portrays the life and elaborates the propensities of a teacher. Krishna, the protagonist of the story, lived a blissful married life with his wife, but it was of short time. The novel is divided into two parts: the happy married life of protagonist, and the second part deals with his spiritual accomplishment. Financial Expert is a delightful novel for the gentle irony used to bring out the rise and fall of Margaya, the financial wizard. The Guide is Narayan's most popular and accomplished novel, telling the tale of Raju, a former convict mistaken for a holy man upon his arrival in Malgudi. Narayan has written many novels like The Vendor of Sweets, Waiting for Mahatma, and the basic theme of all his novels is the place of man in this universe and his predicament. RK Narayan's short stories are inspiring for all kinds of writers, whether starting anew or having already found recognition. Narayan short story is deeply concerned with establishing a sense of community of people completely involved in each other. He writes with complete objectivity, with a strange mixture of humor and irony, and an underlying sense of beauty and sadness. Malgudi Days was published in 1942. An Astrologer's Day and Other Stories. The title story of this collection, An Astrologer's Day, is very famous and interesting story which we are going to study in this semester. Gods, Demons and Others was published in 1964. A Horse and Two Goats and Other Stories, Under the Banyan Tree and Other Stories, Grandmother's Tale, it can be called as a novella. All these short story collections are as popular as RK Narayan's novels. We can compare the short stories of RK Narayan to that of Gay D. Maupassant or O. Henry. There is a slight irony, humor, and sometimes with ending, surprise ending. RK Narayan also wrote his autobiography, My Dateless Diary, in 1960 and My Days in 1974. Some of the essays written by RK Narayan are A Writer's Nightmare, Next Sunday, The Writerly Life. He also wrote screenwriting for Miss Malini and he translated Tamil epic, that is Kamba Ramayanam, The Emerald Route, to promote Karnataka tourism. For his contribution to Indian English literature and his devotion to writing, he received many awards and honors in national level as well as international level. RK Narayan won numerous awards and honors. He received Sahitya Academy Award in 1958 for his masterpiece, The Guide. In 1964, RK Narayan received Padma Bhushana. A.C. Benson Medal by Royal Society of Literature in 1980. He was elected as an honorary member of the American Academy in 1982. Narayan also nominated to Rajya Sabha in 1989. He conferred honorary doctorates by the University of Mysore, University of Delhi and University of Leeds. Thus, RK Narayan, it may be said that his place among the novelists of India is supreme and he may be said to be one of the best novelists that India has produced. He is no doubt a novelist of commonplace and common situations. His style of narrations holds up a mirror to the simple, occasionally ambitious and the relaxed way of living of the Malgudians. With this, I will conclude my lecture, and in the next session, we will study the story An Astrologer's Day. Thank you.